Hi, today we have a flight recorder. By law it is also written in French. This is a very heavy item. This one was manufactured by the Playtech Company Limited, England. This is a data acquisition and recorder unit. You see the part number here. Power supply is 115 volts, 25 watts. Can be interesting to power on this thing. Normally there is a beacon here, but unfortunately the seller removed this part. On the other side there are two connectors with a large number of pins. Here we have two transformers. This is a part of the tape reader, and you can see there is an encoding. It is difficult to see here. And we can see the sensor on the left. Okay, so let's see on the other side. On that board there is a few number of parts, and it seems that something was desoldered here. You can see the conformal coating is not uniform. Okay, so maybe the capacitor was on the other side. So for some reason it was placed on the other side of the board. And you can see the classic ICs in plastic package. Also you can see that this resistor is very close to the solderings of this board. These are probably inputs and protective diodes with resistors. We have these gates here, I don't know, 4502, there may be buffers or something like that. These parts provide the interface between the inputs here and the other things. You can see we have a lot of protective circuits. And then there is a 4030, this one is a 4011, 4013. So this is a dual D flip-flop. 1/3 is not populated. And here we have two big ICs, 4034. Date code of the parts is 92, and there is a 4025 here. So we have on that board Jelly Bean Logic ICs. There is nothing exciting. This one is an analog board. We can see we have a lot of analog multiplexers. 51, 53, another 51, 40, 52, 53, and we have 154. I think this is a decoder of 4 to 16 bits. And we have several op-amps also, dual op-amps, the classic 58. And this board is almost empty. We have also several analog multiplexers, op-amp, and nothing else. The two other boards are identical. Let's see one of them. Okay, so we have also several protective devices. So it is easy to understand that all these lines are analog inputs. Okay, we can see that for each analog input we have two diodes. They are connected in parallel, back to back, and all signals are connected to the analog multiplexers. You can see the 51. So each analog multiplexer has 8 inputs. So we have 32 analog inputs on this board. So as we have two diodes back to back, normally the output of the analog multiplexer should be connected to the negative input of the op-amp, which should be configured in an inverting gain amplifier in order to have 0 volt at that point. Okay, so this is the ground. You can see that the output is here. There is a gain adjustment here. The output is pin 7 of this op-amp. Okay, there is a feedback here with this capacitor. And we should find the resistor. So the feedback resistor corresponds to this trimmer and this resistor in series. The input is the second resistor here, which is connected to that line. It is a pure analog recorder. Okay, so this is a protection against the temperature. This thing is very heavy. And here we have the tape recorder. Okay, look at that, and we have a tape. You can see that we have two optocouplers. So this permits the detection probably of the beginning or the end of the tape. And there is a small board, which is probably the amplifier for the heads. We have 4 heads. I don't know how many tracks there are. Okay, so let's try to supply this thing. So we have 2 transformers. Okay, so we have 3 ohms on that winding. This one almost 0. Here 2 ohms, 4 ohms. Okay, these 2 wires are connected together, and here also. So obviously the primary side is here. I have connected the power supply 115 volts across the primary of the transformers. So let's turn on the power supply. Okay. I tried to read the signals on the head, but actually it seems there is nothing. This is the magnetic tape assembly. You can see the preamplifier board. There are 2 ICs, CA3052. This is the isolation plate. The tape reader is here. It is inserted like that. This is the AC motor. You can see the hidden plate. This is a 70 volts motor, 2000 rotations per minute, and continuous duty, dead code 86. On the left there is a filter for the 115 volts. We have 2 coils, 2 other coils here, series resistance, and there is also a house counter here with mercury. There are also 2 capacitors on the solder side of this PCB. And we have these 2 transformers. There is effectively a secondary of 70 volts for the AC motor, and the other one, it is written 12 volts, 115 here, 24 volts and 13 volts here. We have on this board 2 analog multiplexers, 1 to 8 and 1 op-amp here, dual op-amp, OP220. And several diodes. On this one we have a 4069. This is the next inverter. We have a dual op-amp here, a 4011 quad NAND, and a 4001. This is a quad OR gate. On this one we have also 2 multiplexers, 1 to 8 and a triple 1 input, 2 outputs. This is a dual op-amp, ceramic. The same here. The other parts are plastic, dead code 85. And this is a quad comparator and a TL7705. I think this is a power supply supervisory. And here there is a TL7770. 2 filtering capacitors. This seems to be a capacitor, but no, this is a bridge rectifier. 3 capacitors, 2 resistors, capacitors Philips, 85 degrees. Here we have probably two regulators. These diodes, they should be Zener diode for protection, probably 1N5340. And here we have also two regulators, 117 with the associated resistors, probably to set the voltage. Okay, you can see they are connected to the middle point here. And here we have, I think, polyfuses. You can see that they are in series with the input here. These are 60X025. So they provide the protection in case of short circuit somewhere. That's the end for the teardown of this flight recorder. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.